There's no such thing as diet bacon. You ready for this?
I sure am.
All right, here we go.
All right, we're making bacon. Hey folks, I'm Nathan from Knifeware.
I'm Neil from Neil Zeller Photography. I take pictures.
Right on. Cool, that's awesome, man. But we're not doing that today.
We're not doing that today.
We're gonna make some bacon.
Yeah.
So in addition to being a talented photographer, Neil also makes his own bacon at home, which is something I've attempted and kind of failed at. And so I figured, who better to teach me than you?
I'm a huge fan of bacon.
So what are we doing today? We're gonna go through the whole process, start to finish, right?
We are.
Cool. So start with the cure. Probably talk a little bit about what cut we're using and all that.
Yep.
And then we'll get the Weber fired up with some charcoal.
Yep.
And then smoke it. And
Yeah.
slice it and eat it.
100%. So the cut of meat we're using is a pork belly. That's where our regular bacon comes from. There's Canadian bacon is a whole other thing.
Yep.
So I buy it just a nice 10 pound is usually where it goes. I chop it up into 3 pieces, trim it down a little bit, throw the cure together, and then the cure, it's an 8-9 day cure process.
No kidding.
And then the smoking after that.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Hey, let's get into it.
So I'm gonna kind of hedge my way to the right here and just slice it down. And that, it just, man, I bought that knife just for that. It's perfect.
That's awesome. This is the bacon knife.
It is the bacon knife, it really is.
Cool.
And that's the,
God, that's a beautiful sight.
it really is,
I love
isn't it?
pork belly, man. I know it's cliche to say, but it's because it's true.
I love pork belly. Something no one's ever said.
Right? Especially not any chefs. There's something great about just being able to handle a piece of meat this size. I don't know if it's like a primal evolutionary remnant or if it's just like it's just fun and cool.
If you like bacon, this is the holy grail, is making your own, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm just taking this off. This will create that kind of weird vortex I was talking about. So I'm just kind of trying to create a bit of a smooth.
Is that where the smoke gets kind of caught up?
Yeah, it just doesn't evenly penetrate if there's something for it to, the aerodynamics of the smoke, I guess, when it's in the smoke, because it really is roiling out of there, right, from the bottom to top.
Right. Why do you prefer these two shapes for doing those two jobs?
Well, the petty is just easy to handle, right? I can get in kind of the nooks and crannies. This one just, it creates the smooth cut. This knife is actually more important when I'm slicing the bacon once it's properly cured and smoked.
Okay, so we got our pork cut up. So next step is to cure it, right?
Yeah, we're gonna make the cure now. So sodium nitrates is the key to curing, and then time is the other issue, right?
Yeah.
Is the amount of time. I'm gonna use Prague Powder today.
Okay.
Pink curing salt. It's bought locally at barbecue stores. Since I've broken this up into 3 pieces from the 10 pounds, so I know I'm about 3.3 pounds, and a teaspoon is for 5 pounds.
Yep.
I'm gonna put 3/4 of a teaspoon in each one of the cure mixes.
Okay.
So the next thing is sugar. So I've used maple sugar, I've used maple syrup, I've used white sugar and yellow sugar. Yellow sugar is my favorite. It tends to create the best sweetness to it. For now, you want to mix this up really well because you want to spread that when you're rubbing this onto the meat. Yeah, so basically now I'm going to get hands dirty here.
Okay.
So I grab the first piece of bacon and just kind of rub on half the mix.
So what got you into doing this in the first place then? Was it that kind of holy grail part of it, or?
There's just a zen to it, like I charcoal barbecue, so there's a lot more work to it. But that's a part of the process. It's a part of the fun of making meat and cooking and whatnot. It's kind of like Kevin told me when I bought my first knife. I said, man, it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
And he told me, and I believe it with all my heart now, is a good utensils, especially a good knife, takes the suck out of cooking.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's it. That's sealed and secured and sanitized, and everything is in here, and that's where they live for now, the next 8 days minimum.
So to recap, we got 10-pound pork belly cut into thirds.
Yep.
For every 3 1/3 chunk of pork belly we have for the cure.
Yep. The Prague Powder one, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar in it, a little bit extra salt, and that's preference, right? You'll learn it over time.
And then it's 8 to 10 days
8
Ish.
days is the people say up to 12, whatever, but 8
Sure.
days is the minimum, and
Okay.
that works well. It gets in
Okay.
there as long as you're flipping it every day.
And then a few hours to a day in open air in the fridge to form that pellicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pellicle can happen in a couple hours. I think a little bit longer is better.
Yeah.
Like anything, right? It's like
Yeah.
a brine. Starting out, we're going to light the charcoal, because that takes a little while to get going. So this is like a hand setup. So it's basically leaning the charcoal onto each other. So as they burn, the burning ones fall onto the unlit ones. It's like a fuse. So you start in the middle and then work your way around. And this just takes a little bit, but the ratio of setup to smoking time, again, it's worth it. At 40 below smoking, you need more heat. At 30 above, you tend to overheat a little much. So it just becomes a lot of sort of managing that. But we're sitting here at 3 degrees in January, which is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, we're pretty.
Okay, so the next step is to basically orient this so the door is where the start of this thing is. So this is the culmination of about 10 days. A key moment when we open it up and the first big plume of smoke. The meat into place. I will stick at my thickest one. Exactly. In Alberta, we pay extra for it. And if the temperature remains where I need it to be, I don't have to open this lid now for 6 or 7 hours. So here we are. It's 4:33 in the afternoon. We started at 8 o'clock, so we are at 8 hours 30 minutes of smoking time. Hooray! We did it.
All right.
All right, so I'll turn that off, and this is the reveal.
All right.
This is the lid coming off a full day of smoking 10 pounds of bacon. You ready for this?
I sure am.
All right, here we go. Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Oh, Lord.
That looks amazing.
Yeah. Yep. That looks
That's pretty.
pretty beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right on. So immediately we go from the barbecue into the Ziploc bag. And this just stops it. You don't want it to cook anymore. You don't want the fat to render out. You want to do that on the frying pan. All right, so that's in. Zip that up nice and tight so it doesn't leak. Obviously you don't want to soak it.
Yeah, no.
You want it to be
don't want to
sealed.
wash off all the smoke flavor.
One. And it's not hot, right? We're at 118 degrees air temperature right there, so
Yeah.
it's not like you have to be really careful when
warm,
you're
eh?
touching the barbecue, right? Big transformation, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
We got bacon.
So here we are, there it is.
Yeah. Look at that. The magic of television.
Magic of television, we have finished bacon.
Oh, God, does it ever smell good?
So I got this carbon steel pan. What do I do with the carbon steel pan? How do I treat this thing?
Yeah, right.
And Kevin gave me the advice and said, cook bacon in it.
Perfect.
So anyway, my 300 millimeter sushi hiki, this is the reason I bought this knife.
Yeah.
Is to slice bacon. So
Yeah.
should we slice something?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. It takes a little while to get through a 3-pound chunk of bacon, but boy, does it turn out.
Oh, yeah.
Man, am I a fan of this.
This is a zen in the art of bacon
It
slicing.
really makes me happy. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, this is, I screwed up that one. Should we put a couple of these on the pan?
Yeah, let's do it.
It's ready to go, so
Follow you over there.
let's do that. The carbon steel pans from Knifeware. A little hotter than I like to start because I pre-started it.
Yeah. It's a well-seasoned pan.
Nice and slow, right? Like, this bacon deserves to be rendered very nicely, and
Yeah.
the fat is beautiful. And
Wow, it smells unbelievable.
all right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
You're already in.
Oh, I got in, sorry.
You're already in. I was gonna say something, but too late now.
Oh, all right. I don't even know what words to use.
Right?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. That is by far top tier bacon.
Yeah. What did they say? A happy pig is a tasty pig.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ethically raised meat. I'm good with that.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, Neil. That
Yeah.
was unreal. That was fun and inspiring and informative.
Delicious.
Yeah, delicious for sure. Yeah, no, that was awesome. And yeah, now I need a smoker and to make bacon and
A really long,
to get
sharp
myself
knife.
a longer knife. I actually don't. I work a knife where, and I'm embarrassed to say I don't have a knife that long yet. So
I can be found at neilzellerphotography.com.
Cool.
I'm on the Twitter and Instagram as Neil Z with an underscore, so Neil _ ZEE.
Cool.
And it's I before E, except after C and in Neil.
I actually was trying to figure that out when I was looking up here. Yeah, if you want to see Neil and kind of interviewed and talking a little more about other stuff that he's done, check out our episode of Sharp Knives Rock, where we had him on as a guest. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.